Hey everyone, this is Corey with Stafford's EDC, and today we're taking a look at the Glow Rhino Fermi. Now, I don't have a great way of showing this off. I'm going to kill the lights in on my desk here to see if I can show this to you guys. But this coming from the company Glow Rhino, those who are familiar will know that they work with a lot of tritium. So tritium is a isotope of hydrogen that is naturally very minorly radioactive, and because of that, this isotope glows in the dark. Glows in general. You just can't tell that it's glowing when it's bright because it doesn't glow all that brightly. You can see there's tritium here on both sides of the handle and on a single side of this thumb stud right in there. So without further ado, let me just make sure all potential light sources that I can think of are off. I got neon back there. Let me lock my computer screen. This is a whole production here. Oh, look at that. You can definitely see it glowing. I can't see you can see it glowing there. So I can't see my own screen because of the tripod mount, but you can definitely see that glowing there. And you can see this side glowing as well as I shield it. Of course, there's some light coming from behind me. I can't really help that. It's just the window across the room. So let's talk about the actual knife now that the fun, fancy bits are out of the way. Really super helpful too if you drop this guy in the dark, especially because it is all black. Kind of has an operator feel to it, like the Protect series do. They do a tritium vial in their button on the automatics in the Protect series. So this is very similar along those lines. But the knife itself, the design, Jesus, I could finally get the words out without stuttering over myself. The design's quite basic. It reminds me a lot of like the James Brand Barnes, and I believe it's Everyday Minimalist has a design coming out with Urban EDC that's also very similar to this. It's just kind of a generic knife shape. You have this deep carry pocket clip with recessed screws, which is awesome to see. G10 for your handle scales. What I believe is a G10 backspacer, but I could be wrong. That could be aluminum of some kind or stainless that is coated. You have black coated liners, and you have a D2 blade here with a flat grind coming from a fairly substantial stock thickness. This is probably only 1/8 of an inch, but it does look a little bit thicker. Wouldn't surprise me if this was like 0.13 opposed to 0.125. And you can see the height of the grind is not quite the entire width of the blade. You can see the plunge line right here. So it does go most of the way up to this point here, which is where you finally start to thin out right by my fingers. But overall, it does come down to a reasonably thin edge. This cuts pretty well. It does, like I said, get to that stock thickness rather quickly, but due to the full flat grind, or almost full flat grind, being as thin as it is, it does slice pretty well. Ergonomically speaking, you can see how this fits a large size hand. I just have enough handle to get on here. My pinky kind of wants to hang off, but I can kind of squeeze all four onto there. You can, if you so wish, you could choke up, but you are going to catch the heel of that blade right there with your finger. So just be careful if you do plan on doing that. I want to stay on this little extension here and not ride up any further than that. There is no jimping on the blade, but there is some jimping on the liners, which you can see right there. So that helps lock this into your hand. The jimping is fine. It's not overly aggressive. I can slide on it. But if you're putting some pressure down, then it helps you stay in place for sure. And they also have some jimping on the inside, both on the lock bar and on the non-lock side of the liner. This is on bearings, so it does have pretty good action. You can see it fall there to my, I almost said fall to my knee, fall to my thumb from the open position, and then just a little flick to get it closed. And being double thumb studs, you can of course reverse flick this guy as well. All in all, I think this is a really interesting piece, and it's really nice to see tritium used on a knife stock rather than it being a new set of scales or thumb studs only, which is something that Glow Rhino was doing previously. And I know that they offer little key fobs as well, which are really super useful. Something I should probably buy myself, or at least maybe put it on like a Christmas or a birthday list. If you ever drop your keys, It's the same idea as having like a normal glow-in-the-dark fob that has to charge in the sunlight or via a stronger light source. But tritium, you don't have to charge. You can just let it glow on its own. Which, again, I'm not showing this off very well. But it doesn't need to charge. It doesn't need this direct light to function. So, very cool products that Rhino offers. And the Fermi here is their first foray into knives, I do believe. And they did a pretty good job. It is very generic pocket knife, but it has their little flair on it, and it performs pretty well. So there's not a whole lot to complain about here, but I would be interested to hear your guys' thoughts down below. So let me know. Let me know what you think of this. Do you like tritium? Do you think it's flashy in a way? I know there's some different colors available. I guess it's depending on the isotope of hydrogen that is being used. I looked into this a while back, haven't looked into it much since then. But, nevertheless, let me know your thoughts on it down below. Rhino as a company, the knife as a whole, whatever it might be. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and take care.